we have any visitor comments that are not already on the agenda? Yes, ma'am, if you don't mind.
Can you come up?
Yes, please, and if you don't mind to turn that mic on, because I turned it off. Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Lita Jones, I'm from the Worthington Property Board, Owners Association. Just some concerns about some of the road conditions in our neighborhood. We've got Wheaton Way, which we've got several bad spots on that road. We've got Waterford, which is getting worse, and we've got a big road damage, big potholes on Weymouth. I think it's Weymouth and Wycliffe. We've been asking for a repaving since January of 2021, I believe. North Worthington Way was paved a year or two ago. We were told back last summer, maybe this time last year, that maybe Wheaton would be paved last fall, but it hasn't yet. So I just wanted to see if you all have any updates. I do understand budget constraints, but some of these places are getting pretty bad on the road. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Jason knows all about that, Ms. Jones, so I know,
Well, I live in Waymead there, I went out and marked it a while ago, where I can call blood, give them marked utilities for them, I want to dig it out. But as long as they're doing construction in there, they're just gonna keep turning them on.
Right, on that one.
It doesn't, then we pave it, and it's gonna be tore up again, it's just gonna be a continuous cycle.
I know for, the one at Weymouth and maybe Waterford, but we don't have any construction going on right now on Wheaton. And I know that's a pretty long stretch of road too, but,
And then, which, north and south, then traveling in, I look for them to tear those roads up also, eventually.
okay.
We're lucky we didn't have a bad winter with the freezing and thawing and all that, or every road would be tore up for traffic.
But you marked it.
I've got to Wycliffe and their mark where I can do it, but it will be, it's pressing, yes, but it means it's only a couple houses and right there, and it's not a real high-speed area. It's the reason I haven't got to it yet, and we've still got a lot of other things going on, so. But I'm going, in the process.
Thank you. You're a great American. Thank you so much.
just be patient with us, Ms. Jones.
We are.
We got roads all over the county, and I think we tried to grade them, if I'm not mistaken, about us, how they rate. So, just, everybody's gotta be patient.
I understand. Just want to bring
I
up.
appreciate it very much. So,
Thank you so much.
thank you, Jason.
Any other visitor comment that's not on the agenda? All right, I see none. We will open bids for surplus property. I have 3 bids. The first one, this one actually says blue recycle trailer on it. This is a bid for the blue recycle trailer, Jason Thompson, $150. 150. This says bush hog. And the last one is the chipper, so there's 3 different ones, only one for each. This is the bush hog, $350, Jason Thompson. And the last one is the chipper. This is from BJ Harper. The bid is $3,000. And those are the only bids that we have. And all of these items were surplus at the last meeting. You do not.
Justin, what do you think on that chipper?
I don't know, it sounds cheap to me, but, y'all do what you want to, if it's me, I don't know that I would look at maybe putting them on, the internet option. But, we're not using it, so either way.
And see, I don't know what the internet So the bid was, $150.
You need a motion.
To either accept or reject the bid
Accept bid 50 on blue truck.
on the blue recycle. Motion by Jeff to accept the bid at $150.
I'll second it.
Second by Bobby. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. The bush hog, it is missing a drive shaft, I can tell you that. It's been sitting out at the park. I think they were using some of it for parts. Jason can probably tell you a little bit about how old it is and, it's just.
It was bought there in Jimmy's term also, I believe, so it's 14, 15-year-old. And we were using it as our spire, and then one of them, broke the drive shaft, so we just dropped the shaft off it and replaced it. It was about $1,500 or so, so we just dropped the parts off of this and keep running.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
We have a motion by Bobby to accept the bid at $350.
Second.
Second by Jeff. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passed. All right, the last thing is the chipper. And the bid was for $3,000.
How much is a chipper new? You know? Jason, how much is a chipper new?
I have no idea. Now,
10,000, 20,000,
oh, I'd say probably 40 to 50.
50? And we've had this how long?
Since 2017, somewhere along there, and then I don't remember what model it is, if it's late 90s or early 2000s. So it's somewhere around 25-year-old, I'd say.
I was looking to see in the ad if it was listed.
You think I say this life cycle?
It's a Vermeer wood chipper BC 100A, new clutch at 2,800 hours, and it currently has 2,839 in hours with a road hydraulic winch. There's some on here for 9,000 by max. This one's for 2,000.
So we hold on that. And, see if we, yeah, put it on the auction deal. We don't have to accept anything if we don't want to, or put it on. I make a motion to not accept the bid.
I'll second it.
Second by Bobby. So that was a motion by Jeff to reject the chipper bid, and second by Bobby. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. Should have the minutes from the February 8th meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Motion by Bobby, I'll second. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Opposed, no. Motion passed. All right, Jason, we have road department update.
Yeah, we've been doing some work on the bridges and status stations, and Martin has been working on them as we have time. The only one that I know that didn't like anything on is Fiscal. And it's got some pretty extensive damage in it underneath, and then it's got backwater under it, or well, just water, so it's challenging to work on. We haven't quite figured out what we're gonna do with it. Which we got the wall at the convenience center done. Then, homes tonight. We went out yesterday and graded that, and Kingsbridge and Sarah Lane, got them took care of. I spoke with Bill Compton on, the fuel tank issue at the shop, and he's supposed to come out and do a final inspection next week. And then we call scrap barn, and then we got tire agency going on right now, so the whole crew's at the state garage taking care of that.
Appreciate it very much. And they've been to some trainings and different things, some virtual trainings, in-person trainings, or free
We did
trainings.
one last week on use of manual, some of the signage.
Yes. Alright, Mr. Dennis Tran, you're up if you wanna come up to the mic, please.
This is some,
It should be on, it's on, yeah.
this is actually some of the old business from before you came on. What I'm trying to do is, I originally started out trying to get some of the ball fields named after some of the original board members. And they tabled it and wanted to go and get me to get a list of all the original members that was involved in getting the list on the park started, which happened in 1979 when we started. And I finally got a list of all names. I finally got with some of the original board members, and we kind of went through a list of names. And I just want to know if y'all wanted to put up a sign to recognize them and how to do it and this and that.
So you're saying the original board members as to who formed Leas Jones?
It all started with John Rudolph, Bob Austin, Teddy Stovall, and Robert Southern. They got together and seen this, and they presented it to the citizen, I don't know, they presented it to the citizen court, but they started on it, to the best of my knowledge, and then the citizen court got involved in it and started working on it, and everything was done by volunteer. All the dirt work, everything was done by volunteer to build the lids on the park. So I thought it'd be a good thing to recognize them to, some way to show appreciation for what they done. And I've got a list of, I don't know how many names I got here, I got several. Just maybe make up a sign to recognize them, you know, so that somebody can know.
If I remember, Dennis, I think that was what we, originally, when you come in here, you didn't have all the names on.
I didn't have all the names, no.
And we tabled it because we didn't want to put that out there and not have somebody's
Right.
name on there that was really involved in it.
Right.
We didn't want to hurt
Right,
anybody's
anybody
feelings with it, that's
Yeah.
why he got the original people that started the park, or worked on the park out there,
Yeah.
so.
But what about those, I mean, we've had several continue on and numerous volunteers. I'm afraid if we do it, we're gonna leave somebody out or off or.
But this is all the original ones that actually started within the first, when it all started, what it is.
I wouldn't oppose to putting a sign out there where that you can, add people to it.
Well, yeah, that's,
We'll find out
yeah,
who works on it and all that you make a board that you can
and two,
add a
yeah,
name to it.
yeah,
But I don't wanna put something up there that we're gonna maybe forget somebody,
right, I understand.
and somebody comes to fiscal court and gets, you know,
Yeah.
their feelings hurt because we didn't add
Right,
that name there, but, I know I've been here all my life, but I couldn't tell you who all worked out there.
well, I knew pretty close who did, because I was one of the original ones too, but not the first original, but,
But I trust you with all the names because I know you worked on it and all that, so. And a lot of the names that you got is people that's passed on as well,
that's so, yes.
you know.
Yeah. And I agree with what you're saying, you know, if we make one, make it where we can add to it, you know.
What are we talking about board wise?
That's what I'm the next step, I guess.
I mean, I would just wanna confirm the research, I'm not gonna put I
Yeah.
would prefer not to put a sign out there not knowing.
Right.
I mean, that's continual names, all volunteers that did the playground and different things.
I
And
mean,
the
there's,
fear of leaving somebody out,
but our original thing, everything that originally started was the ball fields and, the Lions Club building was the original, everything that started out there.
And I know a lot of people spend time and, you know, their time out there working, stuff like that, so.
Yeah. You probably don't know it, but, Bill Holsapple volunteered all his equipment, all his skills, and he did all the work, dirt work, at no cost.
And Dennis, you know, I agree with you, but it's like that, I mean, I wouldn't wanna do something that somebody did something like that, and then we forget them like that, because I think that would hurt somebody's feeling, maybe somebody's family or something, but, I mean, like I said, I can look at it both ways.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, you ain't gonna hurt my feelings either way.
So,
But
but I agree with you, I think the people ought to be recognized for what they did out there, because, take like Jimbo McDaniels, that man put a lot of blood and sweat out there volunteering.
Yeah.
So,
I
a
mean,
lot of people,
I'm flexible either way, you know. You're not gonna really hurt my feelings either way, but I thought it would be a good idea to maybe start somewhere and go from there, you know.
and it's almost about like the building that's there, that, the back barn, when they did that, of course, you got signs out there on it,
Right.
that the people that worked on the building,
Yeah, right.
you know.
well, it's the same with the baseball.
I mean, that's the same thing on that's also the same thing on the, arenas are too, you know.
I'd say maybe before you
Uh,
went too far, or whatever you present it to Jamie and let her know kind of what you're looking at, maybe then we could all look at it.
yeah, I mean, that's fine, you know.
That would be a start for you.
No, but these are the original that started on the baseball field. What it did, and the Lions Club building.
I'm sure, and there's a plaque, I think, in the Lions Club building, is there not, on the wall?
It was at one time, I don't know if it's still up there.
I think the plaques in the Leah's Jones, the little building, I think
Yes.
those was just for Lion Club.
That's the Lions Club, yes.
Because I know Bill Dacus was a member of the Lions Club. Do you remember that?
Most of those were eighties plaques. Most of those got hung up after Eddie passed away.
Do I need to try to get everybody's name as far as in soccer fields and all that, and go, you know, overall? I mean, like I said, I'm good either way. But that was the judge, executive, secretary, that's who I got right now, that started in 1979, when we started.
I heard a lot of groups that donated to build
Yes, yes.
the dugouts when they built the original fields.
Mm-hmm.
And then the dugouts have since been redone, and my biggest fear is we're going to leave somebody out or not have, and I mean, I'm sure that sign could probably fit names all across that wall, or, you know, of just continual volunteers that have gone out there and done something, whether it was for an hour, 2 hours, or, you know, weeks and months, and
I mean, it's
Don't
been
wanna
remodeled
leave.
several times.
I don't wanna leave anybody out.
But you got people that worked on the horse arena, you got people that worked on the soccer fields
Yeah.
as well.
Well, let me tell you the soccer field. Jim Stewart came to me and wanted to know if I could brush off all that off where the soccer fields were. And me and him started the soccer field last year. We had 5-on-5. I was the coach and he was the coach, and that's how we started the soccer field. But like I said, I'm flexible, okay? I mean, you ain't gonna hurt my feelings.
We appreciate it.
How about just for food for thought? Just erect a sign thanking all
Just a
volunteers,
general sign.
civic organizations for donations to create the Lee Jones Park, and that way you're not gonna make people mad by not putting their name on it.
You should put it out there, just say thank you for all of the people that's working hard.
I'm good.
Thank you, Dennis.
I'm good with it.
I'll look into it, I appreciate it.
Okay, and if you have any questions, just call me.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, Dennis.
thank you.
Mr. Bush here is sitting, at the table, and I printed out an email he sent, that shows some pictures. Mr. Bush?
Just a little background. I've lived out in Driftwood Estates for, 15 years permanent. We owned the property probably for 30. We were weekenders and vacationers down here. And during the last, 10 years or so, seems like we're overrun with people bringing in junk trailers and putting these storage buildings in. And some people are permanently living in them. Some of them aren't. Some of them have water and sewer to them, some of them don't. There doesn't appear to be a whole lot of regulation, and since I've been talking about it recently with several of the county officials, the health department, I've talked to the sheriff, I've talked to zoning commission gentleman, I can't remember his name right now, but basically there aren't any rules. It's just the wild, wild west. And I really think to protect our property values, we need something. I live, at least in that neighborhood, in probably one of the more expensive houses in the neighborhood, and I have to drive by stuff that makes you blush when you drive by. We had a home up there that was repossessed by the bank and a tree fell on it, and it sat there all summer long with nobody did anything about it. And, a bunch of us complained, and finally, somebody got the bank to do something about it. They sent people out there, and it took them over a week to clean the mess up. That's how bad it was. And of course, it's still sitting there, it's a damaged trailer, and I guess the bank owns it, I don't know what they're gonna do with it. But, my only recourse that I've been told is because Driftwood does have some restrictions that you can take a civil suit against somebody building against the restrictions. Well, I'm on a fixed income just like most of my neighbors out there, and number one, I can't afford to be suing people every time it comes up. I've talked to Mr. Wilson before about a couple of things, and that's pretty much what you said, that was my only recourse. And, you don't wanna be that guy anyway. I don't wanna go around suing my potential neighbors all the time just because something's going on. But I really think to help our property values, and our taxes keep going up, especially on the lakefront property. They went up a bunch last year, and I've been told part of that's because the verbos and the vacation, the Airbnbs and stuff that's coming in. And we may want to talk about some restrictions on that kind of thing too, because all that is Party Central. When a bunch of folks come in and rent one of these things, there's a big one across the bay from us, and it's just rowdy and carrying on all week long when they're there. And, running boats in and out, they don't seem to know what they're doing a lot of drinking. And, I've been told by one of the neighbors on the other side of the bay that they're taking his trash cans and filling them up too, because there's not enough trash cans for the neighborhood, or for that particular, building and so forth. So, I just think we ought to do something. I don't know whether, I know there's a building and zoning for both cities, Catawba and Edible. I don't know whether the rest of the county could be incorporated in that. We're not that big a county. I know that, there's probably money concerns, but if, we rolled them in together and made the fees high enough for getting building permits and someone to go around and check on stuff like that, it would make it, more reasonable. mean, I've got pictures there's a guy, the most recent one that shows up, it's about a 10 by 10 shed built on some, telephone poles out there, and he obviously doesn't have any plumbing in it. He's got a door and no steps to it, and you can see the pictures where he's been working on it this past weekend and blocked half the road. So you're coming up through there, and you can't get by because they've got the road blocked. And then there is, just down the road from that, there's another Verbo that some guy in Louisville bought that hasn't even seen the thing yet. Is what I was told by, I think, the health inspector. And he said that they had a heck of a time getting it approved for a septic and all that, because the way they put it in there wasn't room for a septic bed on this thing he's gonna turn into a Verbo, so. And there's no parking for it either, per se. So if you get, 3 or 4 cars up there, they're gonna be in the road the whole time as we're trying to drive in and out of the subdivision. So that's my piece, and what I'm concerned about. I know a lot of our neighbors feel the same way.
Do we have any restrictions, Lori, that's on Driftwood Estates?
It depends on the section and the unit.
But if I remember correctly, back.
I've got copies of them here.
Several years ago, there was one part in Driftwood that is considered Driftwood subdivision.
You got Driftwood
As
1,
far
2,
as I
and 3.
know, it's all Driftwood Estates. You've got Driftwood, and then you've got units, there's 3 different units?
And one of them's across the
One of
bay.
them has got like unit 2, section 2, unit 2, section 3, there's duplicate lot numbers,
It's a mess.
Is that considered a subdivision? Because
yes.
I can remember somebody coming here wanted us to redo the roads in like Red Rock, which is all grown up. But
Yeah.
we couldn't do it at the time because it was considered a subdivision. And they had to develop it and get it done before we could
Yeah.
do anything to that. I remember that several years ago.
Well, I went around, just drove around for a couple minutes the other day, and I've got, I think, 20 different dwellings that are out there now. Some of them are in really good shape, they look nice. Some of them are campers, some of them are campers that you've got trees growing up around. There's one here that, down on Summer Road, I think it is, that you can clearly see they're using it as a dump right beside their house. They've just thrown all their trash out there and it looks like they're burning it. It just, it's hard when you gotta, bring acquaintances in that aren't from the county, and you come into your home and they gotta drive by all this stuff and you go, gosh, where does this guy live, Of course, when you get to the lake, it's all pretty and neat, but, and some of them aren't that great too on the lake, but it's still, the fact that there's no regulations, that you can just go out there and put up a couple of telephone poles and put a shed on it and move in. There's a gentleman that's put a camper last summer, he dug back in the back of a hill, and I asked him what he was gonna do for a septic tank, and he said, well, I'm not planning on having one. I go, okay, well, you got an electric meter, what are you gonna do when you're here, And that was his answer, so.
That's up to the subdivision covenants or requirements.
Well, and-
We don't have county law plans of them.
When you don't have a homeowners association like Worthington and Rolling Mill, they have subdivision associations, homeowners
Right,
associations.
and we tried years ago, we had an issue back when we first moved out there, and you can't even find the people that own the lots, and some of the lots, 3 different families think they own them, because the way Leisure Land and Lakes sold those lots out there.
And there's a lot of those properties that the deeds were never recorded.
That's true, and actually one of well, that's another story for another day, but, I know one lot down in the valley over there that there's 3 people, or 3 different groups think they own it now, was what I was told by one of the other neighbors. And, there are rules, we've got them, but there's no way to enforce it, and we tried to get a group together and form an
But
owners
only part of
association.
Driftwood, only part of Driftwood has restrictions,
Yeah.
not the entire Driftwood Estates subdivision
I mean, you can drive down other roads and you've got similar stuff going on. I mean, I've been back, you know,
It'd be countywide zoning, that's what you're talking about.
what, I mean, is that a major thing? I don't know. I mean, you're gonna get revenue from the permitting and that kind of thing.
Joe, can you hear us?
So,
You got anything you wanna say on that, Driftwood?
no, I mean, I hear this same complaint all the time,
About Driftwood or everywhere?
everywhere,
Okay.
everywhere I can.
Well, that's my point, and somebody told me that's like that in most of the counties around. I don't know if that's true or not. I just know, you know, this is where we live and we call home, and we've got a lot of money invested down there, and we'd like them to protect our investment. You know, our taxes are going up, but, you know, as these little shacks go in, you know, the property values can't be being helped by that, you know?
Well, the one in regards to the trash, I know, we do have a nuisance ordinance. There is a form that you can fill out with the county attorney's office, and they have a board that will send somebody out to look
If it's
at
trash,
that.
we can look at it. We can't.
I'd show you a picture. I mean, there's some of these roads I don't even drive down because I don't know who lives down there, and some of them have wild dogs that come out and chase you and all this junk. It would be nice to get that to stop too, but,
A lot of the roads in Driftwood is not in the county system.
they are, that is exactly
They're
correct.
not in the county, but they're named because they're 911.
Yeah, and they're named on a plot plan somewhere, like the one you said, they wanted Red Rock Road, or one of them over there is all grown up.
But you only got like 2 people lives down Red Rock Road, and, back then when I.
Yeah, there's if you go out and drive around, you'd be surprised at the dwellings that have appeared in the last few years, and, you know, again, it's,
You know, Mr. Bush, I hate to tell you, but them tiny houses, that's the trend right now.
well,
I mean, that's just.
You know,
they're going up everywhere.
yeah, I don't, and, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but again, if there was some guidance that these people got with, you know, the people that are doing it.
Is there any restriction, Lee, that you know on like tiny houses that you've got to have a septic system and all that?
That would be the health department.
Health department?
Well, I thought I heard from someone that if you got, you put an electric meter, they wouldn't let you have an electric meter unless you had a septic and sewer system too. May not be the
You
case.
have to have a permit application, I think.
So, I mean,
Joe, is there any restrictions on tiny houses like that for the county or anything?
There is a state building code, and enforcement, you know, is another matter, but, you know, if it's a dwelling for habitat, there is a building code in place through the state. Whether you're in a county, city, or anywhere, it's a state building, code requirement, but, no one hesitates to it.
Gotcha.
Some of the other communities, like Mr. Bush had mentioned, they work together as far as the utility company not, you know, hooking up, whether it be electric or giving approval for a septic system or a county water district, working together and, you know, stating that, you know, what the county building requirements as such and setbacks and that type of thing. It just doesn't happen unless, you know, someone signs off on it, or, I mean, they have to go further than what it is now, and that happens.
we've got one lot out there on the main road right now that somebody's bought and cleared timber, and they're just bringing landfill in. They've got asphalt and had PVC pipe and all this stuff, and they're just pushing off in the gully over there. I don't know what their plans are, but it's right on the main drag coming in, and there's 3 or 4 dump trucks of asphalt sitting there this morning when I came up here. And you know, I'm going, you know, what are they doing? you know, we've had another neighbor that's been adding on to his property 1 dump truck at a time out there. And he, you know, he keeps it looking nice and he covers up the stuff, but But this right now, I mean, it may be this guy's intention also, but I thought I'd read somewhere back in the day that when they grade like that, you can't even build on it for a pretty good while until it settles, or it's not a good idea to anyway. But again, if there's no building permits, who knows? I mean, you could put up a structure there and then it settle and crack and fall apart and, you know.
Well, we appreciate the information.
Let's work on it, see what happens.
Next thing is the jail budget. You should actually have 4 sheets. The first sheet is at the bottom, it's signed by the jailer. The reason I wanna bring this one to you is, if you notice at the top, the 3.5 increase, it cannot be higher than the CPI.
And that CPS.
3.4. Then the next one you should have at the top shows no raise for either one. Then you have one that has the 3.4 CPI and then 3.5 for the deputies. And then the last one you should have 3.4 for the jailer and no increase for the deputies. I was given the very first one that the jailer signed today. My recommendation is gonna be the second one, as, all county employees were given the 3.25 January 1 of this year. And
Which one you call it?
the one that says no raise for both,
No raises, no?
for both.
Okay.
Because no other elected official, or including magistrates in the corner, everybody got the 3.25 January 1, but nobody else had the CPI except for the 3 elected officials, or the caterers. And then on the contract with the counties, we've only spent $109,000 in that category.
109.
The average is 13,000 and some change, which would make it we estimate 15,000 for the next 3 months, which would be 60,000. And I was looking to, drop that to 275. And so, I think if I'm not mistaken, in the DOG handbook, we just have to present, this to you all, but we do not have to vote on it today.
No raises.
You said we did not have to vote on that, Jim?
No. My understanding, it just has to be presented, to you all by May 1st, or April 1st, and then we vote on the whole budget, because we're not a standalone facility. It's included, in our regular budget.
So we want to make the contract with county 275. Is that what you
That's what I would want,
proposing?
yes.
What happens if, we go over that?
You'll have to transfer.
Well, we'll have to make an amendment to the budget. You have to make an amendment, because we give the general.
We're only averaging about 13 now, but you think.
I said 15.
A month.
We've only spent 109 to date.
Just on the contract account,
The budget is 325 last year.
325.
And you've only got
3 months
We
left.
have 4 months left, March, April, May, and June. And I said, and we estimated 15,000 a month. The average is 13 and some change. So it's another
This will be the second and final reading of Lyon County, Kentucky ordinance number 02-2024, a budget amendment ordinance. I will be reading this ordinance in a summary form only. A complete copy of this ordinance is available in the office of the Lyon County Judge Executive during normal business hours. Lyon County, Kentucky ordinance number 2024-02 is an ordinance relating to the annual budget and amendment thereof. Whereas the County of Lyon has received unbudgeted revenues from miscellaneous sources, be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Lyon County as follows. Section 1, the budget for fiscal year 23-24 is amended to, sub A, increase the receipts of the general and road funds by $257,260.40 to include unbudgeted receipts from line items 014520B, 014203, 014728, 024516, and 024514. Subsection B, to increase the expenditure accounts in an equal amount from line items 0192009990, 0292009990. Section 2, the amounts adjusting the receipt and expenditure accounts in section 1 are for governmental purposes. This has been the second and final reading of Lyon County, Kentucky ordinance number 02-2024, a budget amendment ordinance.
Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. The next thing you should have, that I'm giving to you is the alcohol ordinance amendment. And I believe we got that one correct, 03-124. This is amending the section in regards to the maximum fee prescribed by the statute, because those change on occasion, or, and then this way we're taking those out of the ordinance and setting it by the statute of what the maximum fee is allowable. So I entertain a motion to accept the alcohol ordinance amendment, ordinance number 03-2024. Second. Cause I made the original, are you second?
Oh, I'll say it. I thought you said you.
I made the motion.
This is the first reading of Lyon County, Kentucky ordinance number 03-2024, an alcohol ordinance amendment. I will be reading this ordinance in a summary form only. A complete copy of this ordinance is available in the office of the Lyon County Judge Executive during normal business hours. Lyon County, Kentucky ordinance number 03-2024 is an ordinance amending Lyon County ordinances 410.1, 410.2, and 02-2019 to incorporate a schedule of licenses and fees for the sale of alcohol in Lyon County, Kentucky. Whereas Lyon County, Kentucky has promulgated a schedule of licenses and fees for the sale of alcohol, and whereas Lyon County, Kentucky wishes to amend its schedule of licenses and fees for the sale of alcohol to follow the schedule of licenses and fees authorized by KRS Chapter 243. Now therefore be it ordained by the Lyon County Fiscal Court as follows. Section 1, removal of section 3.03. Section 3.03 in Lyon County ordinances 410.1 and 410.2 is hereby deleted in its entirety. Section 2, Section 3.04, incorporation of fees contained in KRS 243060. Section 3.04 in Lyon County ordinances 410 and 410.2 is hereby amended as follows. In accordance with KRS 242-125, Lyon County shall have the power and authority to issue any licenses for the manufacturing, trafficking, and sale of alcoholic beverages permitted by KRS 243.060. New language. At the current maximum fee prescribed by the statute in new language, or the issuance of any other reasonable administrative regulations may be necessary for the enforcement of administration of applicable state statutes and regulations and/or county ordinances. Section 3, severability. All ordinances, orders, resolutions, motions, or parts thereof, insofar as some may be in conflict herewith, are repealed. Section 4, effective date. This ordinance should be published after passage and take effect thereafter. This has been the first reading of Lyon County, Kentucky ordinance number 03-2024, an alcohol ordinance amendment.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passed. All right, the next is to show you the FEMA bond payment. I don't know that you actually have the receipt, but it will be, I believe, on the claims. That is to pay off, from the tornado. So that'll be a $2.1 million payment going out. Does anybody have any questions in regards to that? It's, $2,116,275. It is on the claims, so,
You did pay that.
yes. That was one you could not pay earlier than last year.
Did you want to tell me about this and that?
Yes, so while we were, in Washington this week, we did, speak of this, with Senator McConnell, because we're paying off, this, and at the same time, FEMA has told us it will be 3 to 4 years before we get the rest of our money. And so, in discussing it with them, I'm not sure, they basically kind of said they can bring them in, they don't listen necessarily a whole lot, they've had some issues with them. But I have requested some assistance to try to get them to work with FEMA or to make FEMA, be a little bit more responsive, you know, in their title, it does say emergency, and they're still working on projects from 2018. Did I miss something? That's what it is. It is. I make a motion, the next thing is Lyon County Ambulance Board appointment. I make a motion to, reappoint Nathan Toby to the Lyon County Ambulance Board, with his term to expire January of 2026. That'd be January 31st. Second by Jeff. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Opposed, no. Motion passed. Alright, so you should see, transfers, today. We have a motion to accept the transfers as printed. Motion by Bobby, we have a second. Second by Jeff. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Opposed, no. Motion passed. That was just transfers, not interfund. Clerk, if you will deem the finance officer's report, the treasurer's report, the clerk's report, and the sheriff's report as received. And are there any issues in regards to the claims? No issues with the claims, deem the claims to be paid. Magistrates, do you all have anything?
Oh, I got one. I just want to congratulate our Lyon County High School basketball boys for winning the regional and making another trip back to the state tournament. And hopefully that they'll carry on and bring back a championship and we can recognize them here in physical court.
Yes. 3 peats.
Jason, Mark, appreciate what y'all do at the road department.
Thank you.
So, appreciate it. One of these days I'll be out there and bang your lunch.
Well, I hope you do that.
Make it cooking.
Yeah.
You got a grill, I can cook it.
We got one now.
Hey Randy, what about our storms now? We got any storms? Bro?
They're got unstable air over southeast Missouri right now, that's what I was watching, but it's supposed to go just north of us, is the way it's predicted. They're still forecasting 60 to 65 mile an hour winds.
We're still forecasting about 5 in the morning, maybe, right across the creek, it's flooded.
Right, it's, that's not the only.
Of course, Jason, I think I helped you out. The courthouse will be closed next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, okay, I'll let them know.
All right.
At this time, in accordance with KRS 61 At this time, in accordance with KRS 61A10, Section 1, subsection C, after motion and passage thereof, the Lyon County Fiscal Board will go into executive session for the purpose of discussing proposed or